Chris Stephens.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure to see you in the chair. And can I start off, as others have, to pay tribute to the great Tony Lloyd, a good friend, a great man in character, well, one of the characters of this place, and I think we will all miss him, and I'm sure in the coming days we will all be paying fuller tributes to a great man and friend to many. Can I also refer to my register of members' interest, particularly my position as chair of the PCS Parliamentary Group, and also as a member of the Glasgow City branch of Unison, of which I was a former treasurer, and indeed, in the old days, Sir Robert, I was the one who was responsible for signing the many strike pay cheques to workers within Glasgow City Council. Now, it's been an excellent debate, Sir Robert. I'm sure we're all going to wait to hear with great anticipation the Minister's response, but I'm sure some of us could write his lines for him. I hope that we are not subjected to this notion that it is pay rises which contribute to inflation, when we know it's prices which contribute to inflation. I'm sure that we will not be told about the huge cost to the taxpayer that pay rises give, when we, as if there's some notion that public sector workers hide their pay rises, put them in a shoebox and hide them under the bed. Because, as the Honourable Member for Liverpool West Derby was correct to say in his contribution, there is a good economic impact when you give public sector workers a pay rise. Before the pandemic, round about 70 pence in every pound of public money ended up in the private sector economy. So if you give public sector workers a good pay rise, what do? They spend it, Sir Robert, and they spend it within the private sector economy. And I would have thought that the government would welcome such behaviour by consumers. Many members, including the Honourable Member for Poplar and Limehouse and others, have mentioned the PCS report. Now, I have a copy in front of me, Sir Robert. I'm not allowed to use props in this place, as the Speaker reminded us earlier today, but I have a copy for the Minister for his, that he can read at his leisure afterwards. I have to say it's a devastating report that's been put together about the staffing crisis in the Department of Work and Pensions, and how low staff in a department looking after social security are, how low they're actually paid. And in fact, the huge numbers of staff in the government department looking after social security who are having to rely on the very benefits of that social security system, I think is something that the government really need to look at. I hope the Minister is going to explain in this debate of public sector bodies why there are so many bargaining units across Westminster government departments. Sir Robert, 200 separate pay negotiations for the UK civil service. An absolute, complete and utter ludicrous position, when I would have thought that the party of small government would perhaps have one set of negotiations for civil servants across UK government departments. Perhaps he can explain why staff in the Pensions Regulator Service, for example, are currently taking industrial action because the pensions regulator are not complying with the government's own pay remits, because they're offering less than what the UK government's pay remit actually says. Now, Sir Robert, obviously there's a different story to tell in Scotland, mercifully, for public sector workers in Scotland. And we only need to look at figures in the last year of rail workers getting a pay rise of between 7 and 9% in Scotland. In England, it's 4 to 6%. In the National Health Service, if you're in England, 4% rise last year. In Scotland, anywhere between 7.5% and 11%. Now, that's perhaps because we have a government in Scotland that recognises Scotland's values, and indeed that public sector workers should be looked after during the cost of living crisis, and that we should be thanking those workers in the public sector who kept the country's wheels turning during that pandemic. And I hope that the government will respond positively to the many points that honourable members have made this afternoon.